I happened to be streaming at a restaurant near Esplanade, and this guy, right, he shouted across to me and he told me to shut up. And I was just like, what? Why do you tell me to, like, I was just looking, I was like, what's going on? Like, why, you know?
Hi, I'm Julynn and welcome to Life of a Streamer. On this episode, we'll go in-depth into the life of Deborah, better known as Wolfsbanee, a streamer who streams outdoors. We'll get her to share her setup and also her experiences streaming outside the comfort of her own home. As a mentor to budding streamers herself, we'll also get her to share some advice that she has for streamers venturing into the scene. Let's go! And we have Deborah here!
Hello!
I realized we are matching outfits today. Like we have a white top and then like black pants.
Yeah, she used to have purple hair, right? Are you gonna go back purple eventually?
No, I think my salon will kill me because I make it black. Okay, why is there two E's? Curious.
It stemmed back all the way when I was playing Dota. So like, yeah, Omega Law Dota, right? So I was going for like some trials for a female team, and then I actually had to come up with a username. In my Dota name, the thing was called Magic Hamster. So I didn't want to be known as Magic Hamster because it didn't sound like strong enough, you know, like as a competitive player, female player, right? You wanted to sound strong, right? So people would take you seriously. At that moment, I happened to be watching a series called Vampire Diaries. And then just so happened they were talking about Wolfsbanee, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like super cool, super strong. And then I was like, let's go with it. And then I wanted to take one with one E first, but it was taken. So I added an extra E, therefore it's Wolfsbanee with two E's.
So how long have you been streaming?
I started like streaming on Twitch since maybe like 2013. I first decided, hey, you know, I wanted to try streaming my gameplay. Only started doing like full-time streaming in 2019. Right now it's been almost about 3 years since I started. Still growing, taking a long time, you know, because Twitch is a small database, but we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Next time maybe globally famous, who knows.
So how do you actually evolve as a content creator over the years? Because from what I remember, you used to be a solely gaming streamer and then you transitioned into in real life. So how did that happen?
So I used to be a competitive player, right? I used to play like all the competitive games. Then I went from like Dota, then I go to Hearthstone. Then now I went with the trends, you know? Because like Twitch, there's so many different kind of categories, there's so many different kind of trends. And now you can see like the meta, you know, at this point can be like hot tub streams, sleeping streams even now, right. You know, it's a thing, guys. You know, people might be wondering, huh, sleeping streams? But so you can do almost anything on Twitch, right? And that's where I realized I shouldn't just limit my potential to just gaming. Yeah, I should just also try like other things.
Okay, but how did it affect your audience? Because your audience used to just only see you gaming, and then when you transit, did it actually affect the community that you've built?
I think maybe you can relate, like if you play a certain game, you have a certain audience that will watch you for that game. And then some will watch you for like something else.
Right.
But I think now it's getting a little bit better. Like people are more accepting of different categories. Ultimately, what I did was I started to build more on my character, letting people know like, oh, this is how I am like genuinely in real life. And then I think people started to appreciate like the personality, and they were like, oh, okay, you know, like I actually enjoy watching her do anything at this point. So it didn't really affect my audience that much. In fact, actually more people started to discover me because they know I'm also doing outdoor streaming.
So to you, you think it's more of building a personal branding?
Yes, so I think, yeah, it is really important because they might just not be popular anymore. Then like, are you going to constantly still play that game, you know? And if you're planning to grow an audience and become like a personality, I think there are a lot of factors to look into. So once you build like your brand and, you know, people can't understand like who you are, then they'll decide whether they like you or not.
So were you working full-time before you started streaming?
I have been working full-time, almost I think for 5 years actually. I was doing marketing. Maybe that's why I kind of like didn't really need that much help with like really branding myself. Marketing myself. Yes, marketing myself. It was a fun process. Like I learned a lot of things in the industry. I think with like the experience I have in jobs, right? It was 5 years in marketing. Then after that, I moved on solely because it was like I wanted to play some like competitive games and I wanted to try and start streaming and doing all those things together, right? From there, that's how I decided, you know, I'm just going to quit my full-time job and just transit fully. Yeah.
But what got you into streaming? Like what sparked that?
I wasn't like brave enough to dive in it fully at that time. But what really changed my mind was that I actually participated in a competition for like this game Hearthstone, right? So I was playing like competitive games and stuff. Then telling my mom, was like, okay, if I did like pretty well in this competition, maybe I can start thinking about doing content creation and stuff. It was like a transition to full-time streaming competitive gaming. So all together, yeah, everything together. And then therefore I decided once I practiced enough, right, then I went like I got a podium finish, so it was pretty good. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna throw my letter and tell my boss, okay, boss, I need to go full-time content creation. I'm sorry, I cannot sit in an office. I need to do like greater things. Then she was like, okay, I understand. Yeah, then I went for it.
Also, your parents are actually, they approve like what you're doing right now?
I think like at first, they're always like very scared because they are not like sure whether, you know, this is like sustainable and stuff like that, right? But then, you know, after I kind of like show some of the, you know, the paperwork, like the results and stuff like that, say, hey, this is what I've done in the year. Then my family was like, okay, you can try a bit more, you know. Then I was like, okay.
But
so
did they give you a timeline?
They did. Actually, it was quite funny because like I had I think 1 to 2 years timeline.
Wow, that's really long.
I think content creation needs like some time to blossom, you know. It takes a while to blossom. It's kind of hard to just see your results within like half a year. I like to think my voice is rather convincing in certain ways, and I like to like tell my mom, yeah, you know, this is what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. And then she was like, okay, you got a game plan. I see very clear. Okay, do what you want to do.
So would you actually say that streaming is a financially sustainable career in Singapore?
Maybe some people might say yes, some people might say no, but because, you know, ultimately this is kind of like your own business, right? It really depends on like how much work and effort you put into it, how you market yourself. At the moment, I still think like there's a lot of work to be done with it finally being fully sustainable.
But do you think it's actually rewarding? I mean, apart from all the financial factors.
Honestly, yes. I really, oh my gosh, I have never regretted the day I left my full-time job because it's been so fulfilling. It's been like a roller coaster. Yes, there's like hard times, there's good times, but you know, honestly, overall, it has been very satisfying. There's this like void. I was like, I've been trying to find my purpose. Then I was like, what kind of purpose do I have? Oh, you know, I think this might be my purpose. Yeah, no regrets at all. And I am looking forward to like the years to come to see what else I can do, you know, with content creation and streaming. Yeah.
But like, are you a one-man show or do you have a team helping you with all this?
Unfortunately, I'm a one-man show, yes. So I used to be with another organization, RSG, you know, Resurgence. So they helped me actually build myself from the ground as well, like from 2019 onwards. But then 2020 onwards, I had some like changes that I wanted to implement in my style and also like the content direction I was going. So I decided to then do everything independently.
So do you think streaming is a career for everyone? And what are some personal qualities that they should have?
Personally, I think everyone can try content creation, but whether or not you can be a personality in content creation or streaming, I don't think it's for everyone. Discovering your identity and personality is quite important trait for a streamer, because then you will know like what kind of content you want to do, what kind of style you want to project as a streamer. Streaming for fun, honestly, I think everyone can do it. Believe that everyone should try, because you never know whether you are suited for it or not. I think like the most important thing people forget is they just concentrate so much on streaming, right, but they don't have fun.
People get very hooked up on the numbers.
If you're having fun already and you're doing like what you like to do, I think the numbers can come second. Grow into it and be patient, and you know, one day there will be all these people who will be watching you.
I'm looking at this whole setup. I'm so in awe. This is next level gamer kind of setup.
So this is like maybe the 3rd year of my upgrades, I would say. I think like I've been very blessed. So I actually have a very wonderful community and also very nice brands and sponsors. Wonderful brands and sponsors that were able to support me along the way. So all these upgrades were all thanks to them, and they have very nicely asked me to review some of these products as well, and therefore that's how I get all these as well.
But you're doing a lot of in real life now. Do you have a different setup for in real life?
Yes, actually I do. I will show you guys right now.
It's a bag?
Yes, it's a bag.
Okay.
Yeah, so
tell us about it.
This is a very famous style. I think a lot of like streamers on Twitch, they do a IRL backpack setup. Okay, so first of all, yeah, we have actually a power bank. Does it not look like a hard drive, guys?
Whoa,
it does, right?
Is this a power bank?
Yes, it is.
This is bigger than my face. How is it possible?
Comparison.
And it's so heavy. Do you really carry this around?
Yes, I do, yeah. You need to be outside for long periods of time. For example, if I want to do a 10-hour stream outside, how do I do a 10-hour stream if I can't even have a very strong power bank? So this can charge multiple devices. Ta-da!
What is this? Okay, this looks like a camera.
Yes, this is called Sony Action Cam. So because like the gyroscope inside, right, gives the stability of the image. So like if you are using like phone on a selfie stick, you realize like sometimes it shakes. Yeah. And I think this is very important for like viewers, because like if you're the one watching, right, I'm someone who has like motion sickness.
Same.
So sometimes when you watch certain IRL streams, you realize, oh no, it's like, it looks like earthquake, you know. It's
like, it says here steady shot.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So something like a GoPro or like a Sony Action Cam would work very well with this backpack setup. The simplest way for me to explain this, right, is if you guys watch news, for example.
Yes.
If you guys watch news, right, and you realize, wow, they can stream from anywhere in the world with uninterrupted broadcasts. It's because of this device. It bonds all the connections together, multiple connections together to prevent you from disconnecting. Yeah, so yeah, that's actually pretty much it. A lot of other things inside would be like maybe spare power banks, spares of some of the wires and everything, and selfie stick, and yeah, sometimes I even bring like umbrella water because you know when you're outdoors,
oh,
it rains.
Is this waterproof?
This outside is okay. It's like water resistant. I wouldn't say it's waterproof, water resistant, but it's this part that I'm worried about.
Okay.
So usually when we're doing IRL, we try not to be in rain too much because it might short circuit like stuff inside.
Yeah.
And it will spoil the camera. But like I mentioned, this is like the end game setup, right? I do this outdoor full time now, and I think it was a good investment for me because I'm doing it so often. And overseas, like I went to Korea to stream as well, and this heavy duty stuff, it actually worked really well with whatever that I was doing. But you know, like that, don't let the price put you off, in general, put off like live streaming outdoors, because you can use a phone. A phone is good enough because everyone has a phone. And nowadays, like our phones are pretty like high tech, you know, like we are kind of at the level where, you know, our phones are pretty decent and they work really well with streaming. So don't let that stop you from trying outdoor live streaming. Yeah.
So what is your first in real life stream like, and is there any challenges that you faced?
I started IRL so last year, and I think one of the situations that really scared me the most was I happened to be streaming at a restaurant near Esplanade, and this guy, right, he actually shouted. I was like 6 tables away from him, but he shouted across to me, and he told me to shut up, and I was just like, what? Why do you tell me to, like, I was just looking, I was like, what's going on? Like, why, you know?
Right.
And then he kept looking at me, giving me this, like, stare, and he was like, I'm gonna report you, you know, that kind of face, you know, haha, you know, like. And, you know, the funny thing was, like, the opposite restaurant, they were making a lot of noise, they were like, and then, why did he only ask me to keep quiet, but they are making so much noise? So I felt it was kind of like a targeted comment. I felt very affected, actually, because, like, it was my first time getting scolded in public. I'm usually, like, the very nice, polite girl. I'm like, hi, I'm sorry to disturb you, you know, those kind of girls. So we are kind of like experiencing all these things to be prepared for other situations in future, you know? Yeah.
Right. Did you plan on where you want to go for every stream, or do you have a goal in mind?
I think like ultimately it maybe for the month I decide like, oh okay, I'm going to be going to a series of places, and then I decide like, oh, this place, what does it have? Like maybe is it going to be a food day? Is it going to be a dessert day? Is it going to be a coffee day? Like, I always start at a coffee place. My stream knows this. I like to go to every Starbucks in Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I visited 30 or 40 Starbucks already on stream. So it was kind of cool.
It's a routine for you to start at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I think like it's good for streamers to have like a routine. It's kind of nice because people will start guessing which Starbucks is she at today.
Which Starbucks is
yeah, it's a game at this point. So it gives them guessing, which is kind of cool. But then there are days also where I actually don't like to plan. It's kind of funny, but it's true when they say that unplanned content is the best content in certain ways. Things happen. Like I didn't even plan for it, but things happen.
Right.
And
content.
That is the best kind of content. The ones that you actually cannot plan for, and it actually is the most genuine out of like everything.
So you say you plan for your streams. Is the planning very different when it comes to collaborating with other Twitch streamers?
I think like it is good to have like a meeting or like a call with like the streamer that you're collaborating with in advance to know exactly what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Like the place that you're gonna go, whether they are okay with it or not, do they like the place, or do they have like better recommendations?
Yeah.
I think it's good to get both sides of the opinion of like the collaboration partner and yourself.
So this is like a social platform. So people actually get on this platform to get to know other people also,
yes,
right?
That's true.
That's why networking is a huge part of it. So how do you then reach out?
I think like first of all, like the most important how to network with another streamer is to probably talk to them first on Twitch chat, you know, go to their channel, get to know them, say, hey, be a part of their community. I think that's so important. No downside to getting to know the person first. After that, you know, going through the collab together. So I think it's good to get that connection first before you do any other business things or collaboration things.
So when you're doing IRL collaborations, it's the first time that you're meeting a streamer. How do you even handle such a meeting with a person, especially when it's an online meeting. You're getting to know the person while the stream is streaming.
Yes, I was quite lucky because the personalities that I collaborated with are already as loud as me. So we know how to control the tempo, you know, like when we are like speaking with each other, like we know what our audience wants, we know what the audience likes. You know, even with someone maybe more quiet, I think it's all about reading the room as well. Like if you know someone, you know this streamer is very introverted, which is why I mentioned like going to the chat, getting to know the community, getting to know the streamer, then you would know like how the next stream can go with the collaboration.
So let's wrap this up with a nice bow. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years? I'm a kind of person that lives in the now, so like I haven't really thought about my whole entire plan for 5 years. But of course I do definitely still see myself streaming, and I think one of my goals right now is to really travel the world, do overseas IRL streams, meet more streamer friends. Now that with the measures lightening, you know, COVID's like endemic, you know, now. Yeah, I think my goal is also to go TwitchCon, you know, like and to meet more streamers and to see how you know, how they do their stuff, you know, maybe I can learn something from them.
Definitely.
Yeah. Content creation side as well, not only just content creation, but I also love to mentor new streamers, you know, like I think I was in a mentorship program previously, and I think it was very fun because like it kind of like gives me the insight to pass down certain things that nobody has given me previously. So I wish I had that, but you know, if I can do it for like the new and upcoming streamers, I think it will be pretty fun.
It was so nice to chat with you.
Yes,
right.
I had a lot of fun too. Exploring all the insights, and yeah, I think the whole point of today's video is I also want to collaborate with you lah, so that's why I'm here today.
I have been planning this for the past 3 years already.
Oh, shoot.
Alright.
Finally, our collaboration is gonna happen, guys. Stay tuned.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering so many questions from us and giving us so much insights and advices. If you want to know more about Deborah, also known as Wolfsbanee, you can check her out. All the socials will be down in the description box below. Subscribe if you have not yet done so already. Click the little bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we upload. And comment down below on who you want to see next in the next episode of Life of a Streamer. And with that, bye-bye!
Bye!